fire, 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 fire.
Okay, hold on, let me read it. The midlife. The hell? And in my 40s, I'm suddenly haunted by the number of men I've slept with. Who submitted this? Now that you are a monogamous midlife woman, don't be conned by the patriarchy into thinking that your sexual behavior was deviant. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is a good one. This is a good one. Women corseted in shame by society's sexual expectations find ourselves hardwired. I can't even highlight stuff with this, by the way. Hardwired to believe that we have somehow degraded ourselves or depleted ourselves by having sex. Used goods tarnished, devalued. I don't think you need to feel like a piece of shit for sleeping with a ton of men. Pause! I don't think it makes you less of a person. And I don't think men are saying that either. That's in your head, man. The point is, by the way, the point is that some men aren't going to want to be with a girl who has a high body count. There are some men that are okay with 10 plus. Some men are not okay with 10 plus. And you have to accept that. And not cry about it and make a dog shit article for me to read. Yeah, man. Like, go on whatever spiritual journey you need to find, like, to make peace with the fact that you slept with a bunch of men with your body count. But those men that you're trying to date or marry are going to judge you for your past. You'll never avoid that. Sorry. Everybody has baggage. No amount of blaming the patriarchy as a whole on Twitter, or in this case, this fucking butthole-ass website, is gonna change their mind. If anything, that's gonna make it worse. I just don't want to be with you. Go find yourself that don't care about it, but it ain't me. Yeah, I'm sure there's men that wouldn't mind. That's fine. Like, be honest. Do you have a friend that is so down bad he doesn't care about, like, what the girl is like or what she's been through? I've met people like that. They're super down bad. They don't care. No. Yup, no. Yep, yeah, normally 50 plus people. Nope, no, not a friend but me. Wait, you! Again, not shaming, not trying to yell at you or anything. It does happen. Acquaintance, sure, friend, no. Okay, well, I'm just saying, have you ever met a man like that who's that down bad they don't care? The cougar hunter? Yeah, like, what if they're, like, into MILFs and he wants to be like that? So there are times in your 20s and 30s when you went out wanting the proximity of another human body. Maybe you wanted to have a lot of sex. Fabulous. Okay. But these were also the wilderness years. 20 to 30 is your wilderness years. I thought by 30 you're supposed to, like, be settling down a little bit, no? 40 is like settling down. It's like kind of strong. You're like, yeah, I don't know if settling is 40. I don't know, maybe I've been told all my life that you should be having like kids by like 30 at least. Like, that's pushing it. Maybe that's like my traditional parents or whatever, but like, whatever. God, I can't highlight this, so I get lost a lot. Anyway, now and again, it will have been very disappointing and they weren't so handsome, funny, or eligible the next morning. Oh, so you're regretting it. Oh. Oh, I see. Perhaps harder to soothe than companion yourself through this life. What the fuck are they saying, though? Like, you're writing so many fucking words just to be, like, blatantly wrong. So if I get this correctly, what you're trying to say is that it's hard to find a husband and settle down in your early 20s? My parents settled down like my mom gave birth to my brother at like what? Like 24, 25? Yeah, like I don't know, man. I feel like that's pretty normal for most people. Some people go a little bit later than that, and that's fine. I'm just saying, like back then that was pretty normal. And I know that doesn't happen now, but I'm just saying, like, if this person is in their 40s now, that means that they were like growing up in the 90s, no? Or like in the 2000s. Like, are you retarded? You're literally in your prime in your 20s as a woman. That's when you're supposed to be giving birth. And you're teaching young women that this time is like the life for partying and fucking everything that moves, so like, and now you're depressed. You're encouraging destructive behavior. You're caving into your, what is it called? Your desires. You're not having any self-control. Like, sex is fine in moderation. Like, how do I put this? Put it this way: is having sex with 50 men in a year while you're in college a crime? No, obviously. Will it be fun? If you're into that kind of thing, probably. I don't know, can't relate, but whatever. There's a lot of girls in college. Is that fun worth limiting the pool of willing men after you're done with your quote-unquote wild 20s and 30s when it's time to settle down? That's the question. Like, that's the conundrum for this woman, because apparently she's regretting everything. She's like, oh no, fuck, man, shit, did I do a big boo-boo mistake? Like, the topic is so volatile. Sorry, I need a drink of water. Volatile. And it's brought up pretty often, as indicated by these articles that people keep sending in. And it really just boils down to, why do men care if like a person sleeps with 100 people before them? And that's not including the argument that sex is supposed to be like the highest form of intimacy. Like kissing is like, you know, level 1. Fucking sex is like level 100. Or like holding hands is like level 1, I guess. But like, we're getting into semantics. And modern women now turn that into a hobby. And it shockingly affects their ability to like connect with people, men, and settle down with one person years down the line. Sex is meant to be intimate. It is very intimate. You also, again, there is sex addiction in the world, and I would say that doing it over and over again makes you desensitized to sex. Farting in front of your partner openly without shame is the ultimate intimacy. Shut up. Can we ban that guy? It's just me. I mean, yeah, some people would say that they start... So this ultimately can lead to psychological issues of not thinking of the opposite sex as, or the same sex, ultimately, the partner that you're with as like a person, because you just view them as a piece of meat. You can argue it all you want, but psychology does not lie. When you do an activity enough times, you do not feel special anymore. You can't argue with that. Sorry, psychology, science, dopamine, addiction. If you do enough one-night stands, you do not feel like... You can't connect with the person. Like, say this woman sleeps with 50 men, and then she finally finds the one. The sex she might have, if she instead, I don't know, maybe she had like sex with 10 or 20 men instead, it will not feel the same with that guy that she's supposed to have like a feeling. She might have like a mental breakdown and be like, why don't I feel anything when I have, you know, intercourse with this guy? You're not allowed to feel that way. They're upset men are judging them for their past. It's really a lot of fluff. Coping to stay away to care. So many people sleep with them. Well, that's the thing. That's what I find kind of laughable. It's like at the same time, we have extreme woman liberation of like, we don't give a fuck about men and what they think of us. And then we also have, oh God, we need to change society because there's men who are out there who really care about how many other men I slept with before I decided to settle down. We have like the extreme like side crying about the other side of like, oh, we want female liberation and this and that. I regret sleeping with a bunch of men by the time I hit a wall. Is that the author? Which one of them are they? Midults? Oh, she's looking back at herself partying. Ugh. Jesus, dude. They both wrote the same article? They worked on this together. Don't worry about it. It's all part of growing up. Dog, when my parents talked to me and they said part of growing up was like doing your taxes and like getting a job that you fucking hate, not having lots of sex. No, that's not part of growing up. Oh, that's crazy work. I don't know, man. Oh, I can't fucking... Perhaps a combination of bad sex and bad light of day left you feeling a little shabby. We're looking for a connection. Sometimes we crave touch. The magic of skin on skin. The potential solace of another human. Yeah, but then you're not getting solace. You're just having a one-night stand. Maybe you were a pirate dancing and shagging from dusk till dawn with all the swagger of Jagger. Dude, this woman is definitely fucking 40. I haven't thought of Mick Jagger in like probably like 15 years. She's definitely old. Jesus. Yeah, like this aged like milk with that OnlyFans girl who slept with 100 men in 24 hours, and that's the problem. Somebody needs to tell them like, yeah, you might have fun and enjoy yourself in the moment, and that is an outcome, but another outcome is emotionally scarring yourself to the point where you really have like no idea how that's gonna play out until you do it. Like, you opened up Pandora's box. We watched the video of the girl literally tearing up and being like, yeah, by the 20th guy, I don't remember anything, and I did 100? She literally said that to herself. She didn't make that up, or, you know, she wasn't, like, forced to say that. That's insane. Yes, she literally dissociated, and that's what happens. That's what I'm saying with the whole psychology of doing the same thing over and over again. It fucks you up, man. It does. Now she probably views this man as like nothing, or maybe she even had like a mental breakdown. Well, she did have one, but I'm just saying, like, maybe she had like afterwards thoughts of like being like, yeah, fuck men, and it's like, what did men do? They just came to your offer and plowed you 100 times. You're gonna be fine, you're gonna be loved, you're safe, and all that fun you're having, don't worry about it. It's all part of growing up. Yeah, you're not gonna die. Yeah, you're not gonna go to jail. You don't have to pay a fine. You won't get, like, thrown off a building. There's zero consequences besides limiting your dating pool in the future and potentially psychologically damaging yourself and the views of your same-sex or opposite-sex partner. Sorry. Actions have consequences. Every action has a reaction. Yeah. The insinuation that somehow that girls need to do penance in order to be forgiven makes us incandescent with rage. What? What? Nobody put a gun to your head. You're not in the army, like, forced to kill people or something. Like, what? This isn't the same thing. That's not the same thing at all. Like, you're just limiting your dating pool and you're pissed. You do not need to forgive yourself. You need to accept yourself. You're not broken or spoiled. This sort of reflection generally happens, as we said, during moments of fulfillment or fracture. The middle is murky bit when we're just plowing on. Yeah, plowing. Good choice of words. Physically, yes, you're not broken or spoiled. I don't know how true the whole, gaping hole is. But let's be mature about this. But in the eye of like potential men that are dating you in your fucking mid-40s, by the way, who want to have kids and family. By the way, 40 is like, if you're settling down at 40 or even mid-40s, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you are less valuable to them, to that group of people. That's how it is, sorry. That's late? Yes, it's very late. You're not even supposed to be getting pregnant or having kids unless you're like adopting and stuff, but this is what happens when you overcorrect about from being super risk averse and conservative to being a total wrecking ball, gambling, drugs, and general hedonism. Yeah, some people would argue that this all started like in the 60s and 70s when the hippie movement happened, because everyone was really conservative in America and in general, and it just pivoted really fucking hard because all those, I think it was the baby boomers. Yeah, the baby boomers were all growing up in the 60s and 70s when they're like 18 to 20. And their parents were the conservatives who were like, no, you can't have sex before marriage. And now it's gone ba-boom, like the other way. Where it's like, it's okay to have sex in marriage. Oh, it's okay to sleep with like 100 men and then still expect to have like a really large dating pool when you want to settle down in your 40s. I don't even think that would even work, even if... I don't know, man. There's so many questions I have. It's just so weird. Do you think we should bring back social shaming? Sometimes bullying is okay as long as it doesn't resort to like violence or something like that. Like, in my opinion, I was bullied for being a little bit weird, and I think that helped me to form into what I am today, and to not being as weird as when I was a kid. Yeah. Let me read the end of this. Remember, these adventures didn't lead you to a dead end? Dear disconcerted. Yes, it did. You're making an article about crying about how men are refusing to be with you. What do you fucking mean? What do you mean? You're literally making an article about this. It was only a provisional license. There were times when you put your foot through the floor and did one of those slightly scary swerves that left your heart pounding. You thought that was close and then you drove on. Brave girl, you turned out to be a rather good driver. What value do you bring to the table by having lots of sex with men? Like, ultimately, what does it actually do for you? Does it make you, like, really good at sex? None? Yeah, I would say so. I don't know. Yep. I don't know. You can suck a mean dick. Yeah, well... Maybe find yourself a husband or someone to settle down with that would appreciate that. Sex corrodes your penis? That is not true. Are you saying like coochies are acidic and it corrodes your pee-pee? Why not learn with your husband? I'll touch on this very briefly, but I remember when I was a teenager, there was a lot of girls in my school that would shame you for not like doing sex acts with your like partner or with like dudes in your class and shit because you're just inexperienced and you don't know what you're doing, and it puts a lot of pressure on girls and boys, I'm sure. But in my particular like school, there were like girls that were very, how do I say it? They were kind of like hoes. They would be like with dudes when they were like 16 to 18, and they would have like 2 to 3 dudes, and they'd be like, yeah, I'm having sex with X, and you're like, wait, didn't you just break up with Y? Like, you know, Jake or something? And it's like, yeah, well, you know, gotta get back in the saddle and stuff, and I'm like, what? Again, I'm not talking to these people directly, it's just what I heard through the grapevine, but yeah. There were people like that in like high school, like super hypersexual. And they would expect like, you know, and you'd think that you'd be expected to be like good at what these girls do, even if you're like not engaging with it at all. Yeah, I'm sure boys go through it too. They're like, oh, if you don't have sex before you're 18 with a girl, then you're gay. I heard that one a lot too. Yep. Yep. Loser gay. Yeah, you don't have sex before you're 18? Yep. Didn't make it in time, turned gay. Yep. They were right. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, there was a lot of pressure as a young girl to like be with boys. A lot of pressure.
Fire, 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 fire.